Good evening, all. Today, let us discuss about a challenge that you have tackled successfully. Tell me about a challenge or conflict you would have faced at work and how you dealt with it. It's a common interview question. You're probably not eager to talk about conflicts you have at work during a job interview, but if you are asked directly, don't pretend you never had one. Be honest about a difficult situation you have faced. Most people who ask are only looking for evidence that you are willing to face these kinds of issues head on and make a sincere attempt at coming to a resolution. Stay calm and professional as you tell the story and answer any follow up questions. Spend more time talking about the resolution than the conflict and mention what to do differently next time to show you're open to learning from tough experiences. Answering questions about workplace conflict is an opportunity to showcase your problem solving skills, interpersonal abilities, and resilience. Remember, authenticity, empathy, and self awareness are the key. Use this question as an opportunity to demonstrate your ability to handle challenges constructively. Interviewers pose this question to learn about your problem solving skill and how you handle interpersonal issues. Here are some steps to help you respond effectively. First, choose an example. Reflect on your work experience and select a relevant example that aligns with the position you are seeking. Opt for a situation with a positive outcome so you can highlight what you learned from it. Provide context. Outline the details of the conflict to the interviewer. Who was involved? What, what caused the conflict? Your relationship with the people involved. Emphasize positive traits. While discussing the situation, remain positive and professional. Be honest and avoid bias or misrepresentation. You can use STAR technique. STAR method is nothing but situation, task, action, and result framework for formulating responses that follows a specific structure. So first you describe the situation. Explain the situation you handled in one or two sentences. This part can provide the hiring manager with context so they can understand the rest of your answer. Explain the problem. The next component of the STAR method is explaining the task, which is the role you had in the situation. Detail your job and responsibility to overcome the challenge. Detail the steps you took to rectify the issue. Talk about the action you took to overcome the situation. Explain your thought process for choosing the action you did, being as specific as possible. Describe the results you produce. In this portion, explain the results you produced. To conclude your answer, you may present what you learned and how you plan to apply it in future scenarios. The common mistakes candidates make while answering this question. You focus too much on the conflict and not on the resolution. Sometimes work conflicts can get personal in a hurry, and because that is the case all too often, some issues can be harder to get over than others. However, that's not a good enough excuse to spend all your energy explaining the conflict during an interview and omitting the details about how you did resolve the issue with the colleague. Second major challenge. You spend too long trying to dodge a question. One of the biggest mistake I have seen is that even the best contenders for a job get too caught up in trying to be the perfect candidate. When it comes to conflict with colleagues, they would rather have you believe that they have never wanted to flip your lid and give that annoying guy across the hall a piece of the mind. And when an interviewer probes for a little honesty about the matter, they spend too much time trying to change the subject, which is a fast way to turn a hiring manager off. Getting confrontational about follow up questions. It is perfectly natural to get a little tense when an interviewer asks you to describe something you would rather not, especially when it could potentially look bad on you. But here is a hard truth. You're going to have to accept about the interview process. You're going to have and answer some difficult questions. And the worst thing you can do, especially when you're asked to describe how you resolve a conflict at work, is to take out the frustration about the question on the hiring manager during the interview. Why the hiring manager ask, tell me how you handled a difficult situation. Employers ask candidate to describe a difficult situation they have handled in the past to assess how they may handle challenges in the future roles. The response a candidates provide can help an employer determine if they could be a positive contribution to the company. A candidate's answer can also provide an employer with an insight into their integrity, communication skill, initiative, leadership skills, and ability to react to unpredictable events. As you are thinking about your answers to this interview question, you can consider how to talk about the situation positively instead of speaking negatively about others, employers, your co-workers, supervisors who are involved in the situation. Focus on what you did to rectify the situation. Another consideration to make when brainstorming your answer is to use a work related situation. A potential employer may appreciate an answer that centers on your professional life. If you don't have a relevant work experience, you can describe a recent event in your personal life, but that should reflect your problem solving skills and your leadership capabilities. So, employers ask these common behavioral interview questions to get a feel for whether you can maintain composure during conflict and constructively resolve difficult situations. In particular, interviewers are looking for these skills and qualities: your teamwork skills, positivity, problem solving skills, your logical ability, ability to remain calm, your self awareness, assertiveness, leadership skills, conflict resolution skills, communication skills, and interpersonal skills. By asking about how you resolve conflicts, interviews want to confirm that you would be a good fit for the position and are able to handle challenging scenarios, whether with a colleague, customer, client, or manager. So let us avoid certain things while answering these questions. Never say you never have conflicts at work. Don't sidestep this question by saying you never have conflict with people at work. This seems very unrealistic and could actually put you in a negative light, painting yourself as right and others as wrong. Your employer does not expect you to be right all the time. Don't be afraid to admit you made mistakes. As long as you are willing to learn from it and take steps to resolve the issues. Pointing fingers at others not only put you in a very bad light, it will raise a red flag and hurt your chances of landing the job. So be kind and generous when describing your conflicts. Interviewers are looking for people with well developed soft skills who can listen to others, work on as a team, and remain willing to face challenging situations. Using an example of an unresolved conflict. Sometimes it can be hard to think of a good example to use the questions like this, but that doesn't mean you should use a poor one. Telling employees about a conflict that you had left unresolved will send a message that you don't follow through to improve things when needed and leave them with a bad impression on your conflict management abilities. Even if you had to resort a minor conflict, choose one that exemplifies your conflict resolution skills and ability to learn and improve from challenges. giving a vague answer. While your response shouldn't overly in depth, an answer too vague won't give the employer insights in how you actually handle conflicts in professional settings. Provide enough context that interviewer will be able to understand the issues you faced. Describe the specific steps you took to solve it and leave out unnecessary details that don't add anything to the story. So, in conclusion, when asked about how you handled a difficult situation in an interview, it is important to carefully consider your response. First, think of the specific example and focus on your action in resolving the issue. Be specific and highlight your problem solving skills in action. For example, you can talk about a time when you successfully resolved a client's unhappiness with a project. Stay positive when answering and emphasize how you listened to concerns, did research, and found a resolution that satisfied both parties. When answering the question, it is helpful to include some buzzwords and phrases if possible, like I remained calm while under pressure. I took a step back and addressed the situation. I identified the key issues. I came up with a few potential solutions. I implemented the solution and monitored the results. An answer which impressed me during the interview which I had done. We were interviewing a project lead, and he was highlighting the conflict he had regarding the allocation of the resources. So he highlighted, as the project lead, I facilitated a meeting to openly discuss everyone's perspective. We collaboratively identified a compromise that balanced individual needs and project requirements by actively listening and encouraging open dialogue. We reached a solution that satisfied all team members. As a result, our project stayed on track and team morale improved. So, all the best, guys. I believe you will use your logics thoughtfully, phrase the situation, plan it, and accordingly come out with a sensible answer. All the best, and thanks for your time.